Hey guys, I was sent a list of questions by the administrator of one of the Facebook pages, and instead of typing the answers, I figured it would be easier for me to just video the answers. So bear with me, I'm not very good at this, but anyway, one of the questions was which stallions do we stand, and a little bit about them. So behind me is I'm a Firefighter. We call him Backdraft. He is a son of Firewater Flit out of a Bugs Alive in 75 bred mare. He is 17. I know, he's getting old. Makes me sad. And I don't need to explain him. Most people know, but if you don't, shameless post, wallsperformancehorses.com or the Walls Performance Horses Facebook or the I'm a Firefighter page. So there he is, the man. But I don't want to keep these videos or make these videos too long. So I'm going to just go kind of fast. So, and he says, leave me alone, I'm eating. So I will go to the next stud. The next one we have is First Moon Medley. He is a son of First Moon Flash, and he is 5. He's kind of our younger, up and coming feller. And so I'll show him to you. It's really cold here right now, so everybody's blanketed. Backdraft doesn't have a neck cover because he rubs his mane out if I put it on. So it's not that cold, so he has to be tougher. This is Checkbook. This is First Moon Medley. He is probably the friendliest horse you'll ever meet. Like, he loves people. And like I said, he's 5. He had a few runs this spring, and then the whole COVID thing hit, so we kind of just came home, and now it's breeding season. So we'll hang out and enjoy life, and him and Backdraft will really enjoy life. And then this fall, we'll hopefully go back out and, you know, show up at places. So anyway, there's Checkbook. First Moon Medley. He also has a Facebook page, but he's on the Walls Performance Horses. And I'm telling you, this is the friendliest horse ever. It's raining outside, but if I went outside, he would follow me everywhere I went and then follow me back in. So there you go. I'll hang up now or end the video and then come back with the second segment of the other questions. So I'm back for the second part of my video, and I'm doing chores at the same time. So the camera's gonna, you know, wiggle around and all that stuff. But one of the other things she asked was my opinion for someone who wanted to be in the stallion business. So I want to point out the immense amount of responsibility that there is on a stallion owner. There's always responsibility as a horse owner, of course, but as a stallion owner, well, I got to point this out. I threw from here, hit the feeder. Impressive. Anyway, back to responsibility. As a stallion owner, your responsibility is greater because you have to watch out for everybody else. It becomes my responsibility to take care of you and take care of your children and take care of everybody else who's at a barrel race. And I realize you should have to take care of yourself, but it lies on me. So if I'm going to haul a stallion, I have to make sure that I'm watching out for everybody else. And as cruel as this sounds and as mean as this sounds, there's a lot of dumb people out there, or irresponsible people, or people who just don't know any better. But I don't care how smart you think you are or how safe you think you are. If you're hauling a stud, somebody somewhere is going to put your horse in an iffy situation. And if something happened, the responsibility would be on you, just because you're the one who brought him there. So responsibility is a big deal. Safety, you know, my studs are probably the best studs out there because I'm biased, but they are very well mannered. They do travel well. They're, I consider them very safe to be around. But at the same time, if I go someplace, it's always in the back of my mind if there's somebody near my trailer, near the horse, you know, all that stuff. And they should be behaved, and they should have manners, and they should be used to being called, but they are boys. And sometimes boys don't think very well. And I apologize to any man that's watching this, but it's the truth. So the responsibility from that is great. I also think the stallion ownership part has a lot of financial responsibility, advertising, incentive programs, feeding them correctly. Not that you don't feed every other horse correctly, but you got to feed a stud superbly if you want the swimmers to be good. So there's that type of financial responsibility. I also think if you're going to have a stud and you're going to play the game, you need to play the game. So that's what I say. If I'm going to play this game, I'm going to play the game. So you need to have, sorry, I'm watching my kids' cats behind me. Very entertaining. So I'm back with the third little segment of my video, and it's still regarding stallion ownership, suggestions or opinions. I think that if you're going to jump into the game, then you should plan to play the game. And that's what I say. If I'm going to play this game, then I'm going to play the game. So I want to win. I want to be one of the best. Do I think I am the best? No. But do I think I have one of the best? I think so. So when you are going to a barrel race, for example, or a roping or whatever you're going to, if you are going to want to compete against the best people that are out there, then you need to show up with the best caliber of a horse in order to compete with those people. And I think it's no different than stallion ownership. If you want to have one that's marketable, that has the bookings, that's super profitable, then it needs to be at the caliber of the other horses that are playing the game. So consider that. Like, if you want to have the horse just to breed a couple of your own, or, the few things like that, then I think whatever you want is fine for, your business, your opinion, your styles, your likes. But if you want to try to be on a national market, it needs to be something that's truly marketable and not just yet another grandson of so-and-so out there. So make sure you're thinking long-term as to what I have. Is what I have going to be able to hold its own? And use that as a factor too, because if it's not going to be able to hold its own, is it going to be worth all the stuff you have to deal with? You also have to like people. You have to like to talk on the phone. You have to like to visit with people. You got to be a people person if you're going to be a stallion owner, because you will get phone calls and phone calls and phone calls with people asking questions and wanting to know more about your stud, or wanting to tell you about their broodmare. And I like talking to people, as anybody who knows me knows. So it's great. I have no problems with somebody calling and keep me on the phone for 45 minutes or an hour, because I really enjoy it. But if you don't like public relations, don't try to market a stud. Public relations is a very big factor, and it's something that I enjoy. So that's my not quick, but my little spiel about my opinions on something you should consider if you're going to jump into the stallion ownership option. So the next chapter of my little video story is things that, as a stallion owner, I want the broodmare owner to know. So I would assume, most of you who breed multiple mares a year know all these things that I'm going to say. But if you're, a first-time breeder or thinking of doing it, these are my opinions. So not, veterinary published articles, but my opinions are the biggest thing that I need everybody to remember is it doesn't always work first time. I can send you the best, biggest, most modal, wonderful shipment of semen, and your mare can ovulate perfectly. Everything can look great. And on the 14-day check, there might not be the little dot there. Sometimes nature just doesn't work. So don't give up. I know some people will get discouraged, or they think it's just going to happen. And the majority of times, if things are right, it does. But again, doesn't always happen. And sometimes it's not the stallion's fault. Sometimes it's not the mare's fault. Sometimes it's not my fault. Sometimes it's not your vet's fault. Sometimes stuff just happens. And then on the other side, you could have a shipment get held up, arrive late because of some problem with FedEx, and it can have very low motility, and your vet will think, oh, I don't know if this will work, and the mare might not look good anymore. And there's the little dot at day 14. So nobody truly understands nature, and we can try as hard as we want and do everything that we possibly can to try to make sure it works. But in the end, sometimes things are perfect and sometimes they're not. So don't give up. If you have a dream of the perfect foal, just keep trying. And then another aspect is, I think a lot of people forget or don't know the importance of doing a culture or a cytology on a mare, which is basically, the pre-breeding checkup. So I would strongly recommend everybody do that, even if things look good. Sometimes it's not good on the inside. So I've had older mares with no problems, and I've had extremely young mares show up with an infection or something small going on with the pre-breeding exam or the cultures. And so it's something to seriously consider, because the quick little culture is a lot cheaper than having to ship a second time or pay your vet to do a second breeding. So really remember that. Also, as someone who does the shipping, I love when a vet or an owner calls me the day ahead of time and tells me there's a possible anticipated shipment. Most big reproductive places will do that and call and get on the list, but it is nice to have, being kept in the loop, because, our end is as important as your end. So that's always greatly appreciated. The other thing to consider is make sure whoever you're shipping has told you their schedule. We're a pretty standard schedule, but our FedEx does leave earlier than a lot of places might. So I make sure that the clients or their vets know what time I have to receive a phone call by, and my phone call might be needed sooner than someone else's phone call. So keeping your vet in the loop on all that helps too, because they do a good job of keeping stallion owners updated as long as they know what they need to know. So that's my short things that everybody should need to know. And I realize when I say short, it's not short. I'm kind of a talker, which goes back to the public relations thing. So I hope you enjoyed my wealth of knowledge, or my lack of. And for sure, I hope you enjoyed the basketball skills partway through the video, because to be honest, I don't play basketball. That was pretty lucky. But anyway, thanks for listening. And if you have any questions or want any information, just shoot me a message or something. Hope you're having a great day. Bye.